Hi, everybody. I hope you all are having an amazing day. Being a homeschool mom is just a challenge. It can be a good thing, and some days you have these days where it looks like nothing is going good. I had those days 30 something years ago. But you know what? When it's all said and done, it was one of the best things that I could have done for myself and for my family. And some of you are thinking, well, hey, Miss Joyce, how was it a good thing for you? It just was, because it's given me an opportunity to meet so many amazing people like Angela, who's on our show, and then we have a great guest that we're going to talk to today. Yeah, Mr. Takarri, we have a great guest that we're going to talk to today, just about who you are as a woman. I know we're parents, I know we're sisters, we're daughters, but just who you are as a woman, and homeschooling being a part of your story. Some time ago when I was homeschooling, I went to my mentor and I said, you know what? I'm just so tired. I feel like I'm always teaching, I'm always washing clothes, I'm always checking papers, I'm always washing dishes. It's just overwhelming. And she took me by my shoulders and she said, Joyce, homeschooling is not your entire life. It's just
Yeah,
a part of your life. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it being a part of my life,
that's good.
although I was doing it. But it seemed like it was all consuming. So I began to think about that. And now on this side, and as I moved more close to 30 years as a homeschool mom, I saw what she meant, that it was a part of my life. And so we have a segment of our parents as teachers at home, our path journey. We have a guest today. Her name is Mrs. Takarri Blackburn, and she has an amazing story. And I'm just not going to continue to talk any longer. I'm going to introduce. Hi, Takarri. How are
Good
you?
morning, Miss Joyce. Good morning, Angela. I'm
Hey,
doing
lady.
good this morning.
You look amazingly beautiful today, I must say. You sure you're
Thank you.
a mom? I remember pictures too, 30 years ago. But anyway, all fun aside, thank you so much for being a part of our show today, Parents as Teachers at Home. And thank you for being a very dedicated engager in our Parents as Teachers at Home, our PATH program. You're always liking what we do, you talk about it. Thank you so much for supporting us in that way. The National Black Home Educators, this is a part of our nurturing series, Parents as Teachers at Home. So I want to ask you some questions very quickly. The first one is, just give us a very brief, short, brief bio. And I know that's two words, short and brief. They mean the same thing, right? But anyway, give us a brief biography of yourself.
Well, once again, good morning. My name is Takarri Blackburn, and I'm a part of NBHE. I am married. I've been married for 14 years to my lovely husband, Narvell Anthony Blackburn III, and I have two beautiful daughters, Shay Brian Sharon Princess Blackburn, which is 14, and Samantha Princess Blackburn, which is 11. And we named them, they named Princess on purpose because we want them to know that it comes from us, not anyone else, because they are princesses in our eyes, which one day they will turn into queens, so that that middle name will stick with them for a lifetime.
Mm.
Um, I've been homeschooling we have been homeschooling for about 6 years. Whenever Shabrian was in the third grade. She was in public school and she was being bullied really bad. But we didn't know about it. Like I would ask her daily, like, is anybody picking with you? What's going on? She would tell me, no, no, no. So one time when it was getting ready to go back from the Christmas break, she was like crying, like profusely, like crocodile tears. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, you like school. We could take this day out, but you could go the next day. She's like, Mom, I don't ever want to go back again. I was like, what's the problem? And then she began to tell us that she was being bullied by these little girls. So my husband came in and we talked about it. So we ended up going to the school to see what they could do about it. And we talked to the dean, we talked to the principal, we talked to a slew of people, and they were not willing to hear our story until one little girl finally came up and she was like, yeah, we were all bullying her because she was with her grandma. Her grandma grandmother made her tell the story. So it's like a group of little girls, and they had embedded in her brain that if she told us, they were going to kill her. So she didn't want to tell us because she didn't want us to die. So we was like, immediately we had to take her out of school. We weren't prepared for it, but sometimes you're not always prepared. You just have to do it. So we just pulled her out, and we've been on that journey since then. Samantha hasn't attended public school, so it's different from her. So that's how we started. That is how we got started homeschooling.
What a story. I've heard many, many parents' reasons for homeschooling. And listening to your reason, I'm just grateful that your daughter felt she could come talk to you. I mean, that's a whole nother lesson right there,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
children feel, can I talk to my parents about the tough issues? Can I talk to my parents about things that bother me? And we are just so thankful that your daughter could come and talk to her mom and dad
yeah,
about what was going on in her life. So that pretty much
yeah,
answered the question, what got you started homeschooling.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
did. It was very different when we first got started because we didn't know many families who were homeschooling. Actually, it was just us. Like we attended a church that maybe like one or two families were homeschooling, but they weren't giving us much information. So, like the first few years, we were just like blindly homeschooling. It was like, what are we doing here? I mean, it was like worksheet, 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 book, 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 book. It was
Yeah.
like you said, it was just like consumed with this is how it needs to look. This is what school was. This is what we're gonna bring home. Sit in the desk, don't move. Da, 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 da. And it was like we were in tears. It was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to put her in school. I'm actually threatening her on the like, if you don't do this, you're going back to school. And she's like, I don't want to go. But then I'm trying to get her on the page. This is what we need to do. The people are going to come here and they're going to look for work. And
Ah,
what am I going to have to show? All this
wow.
here because I didn't know. I didn't have an example. So we're just learning along the way. I'm reading all these blogs and how people
Yes.
doing this and
Yes.
that. So we were struggling. Like, really, it was a struggle, if I'm being honest. And
Yeah.
she doesn't know. She comes from public school. She's at home. So we didn't have that time to de-school. I didn't know what de-schooling was, to kind of like sit back and relax and just kind of like, let's take a break. Something just happened here. Let us figure out how can we get a game plan that is tailored to her. So that was rough, if I'm
Well,
being honest, because we didn't know. We
yeah.
didn't know. And she ended up not liking it, period, because we was forcing it down her throat. Like, you have to learn this. If you don't, this is what's going to happen, as opposed to let her be free and allowing her to get her rhythm.
Hmm. So you've mentioned some of the challenges in what you just said. Those are some of your challenges to
Yeah.
homeschooling. You felt someone's going to come to your house and take your daughter or check you out. What are you
Yes.
doing? And then you were kind of pushing it down her throat maybe, and she was kind of pushing back from that. So that was a challenge for you. But what were some of the blessings of homeschooling? What are rather some of the blessings of homeschooling so
I
far?
would say I get to spend time with them. And now we're in this place now where we're getting to know each other. I can kind of tailor to what they need.
Yeah.
I am their mother. I am their first role model. Like, I don't want other people dictating to them or showing them how they should be as a young lady, or what they see on TV, like or what they see in a commercial, or be influenced out there. I want to be their first influence. So a lot of things I do is because of them. So that's the opportunity I have with homeschooling. And also, they're girls. So that's like, I think right now, 14 and 11, these are critical years. So I need to spend as
Yes.
much time as possible with them and import like great positivity and um, good influences on them right now during these years. So this homeschooling allows freedom. That's what homeschooling is in my opinion. It's freedom for me to get to know my children, and let's find out what they're interested in, not to force feed them education, but to make education fun. That's the thing I wanted to say when you were talking about earlier. Make homeschooling fun. If you do not make it fun, then it will not work.
Fun
It will
definitely has to
not
be
work.
okay. Fun has to be a part of it, not just for the children, but fun has to be a
Yes,
part of it for the moms too.
exactly.
Have a mom's
Yes.
night out, hey, let's go out, let's go to dinner, let's go to coffee or something, and then make it fun for your children.
Yep.
So maybe you can come back and tell us some of those fun things that you've done. The next
Yeah.
question is, the National Black Home Educators was started about 20 years ago. We have, created an organization that empowers parents to educate their children. We want parents to feel empowered. And now we have this new NBHE. We're creating curriculum, and we're getting more and more people on board for our membership. But what has NBHE, or how rather has NBHE impact your homeschool journey so far? How has NBHE impacted your homeschool journey? I know you're a member of NBHE, and we're so grateful for your membership. But
I
how
am.
has how has NBHE impacted your homeschool journey thus far?
Well, actually, just how we are having this Zoom conference call, I actually watched the two of you on Path, and I picked up a ton of tips. I like the fact that it comes from two different styles. One is more old school and one is more modern. So you're able to pick up from two different sides, and you can try both of them out. I think I probably watched every Wednesday. I was like, hey, 5 o'clock that Wednesday, this is my time. I need to get my notebook. I need to write down all these tips. So that helped me out tremendously, because like once I said, like what I said earlier, early on for us it was just hard.
Mm-hmm.
Still right now it's not as many people that I know homeschooling, so the path program was it was excellent for me to kind of tie in what I was thinking about doing, what I should give a try, things of that nature. My kids attend Coding with Friends on Saturday, which they enjoy, which is amazing. I would recommend it to more kids out there. It's something good, not only for girls, for the boys as well. Girls, they want to know more about coding, they want to create their own games. So, and I know this is what Coding with Friends will allow them to do, allow them to tap more into their creative side and they tech and their tech side. That's another thing, I was missing the technology part. So this is great for my kids. So MBG is on the right path.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Now, I have two questions that I would love you to answer very quickly before, because I definitely want to give Angela an opportunity to give a plug for Coding with Friends. Actually, the girls named that Coding, because it was, I'll have Angela talk about that more. But the next question is, what would you say, very quickly, what would you say to a new homeschool mom about homeschooling? What do you think parents should know?
I would say if you're going to homeschool, make sure that you commit 100%, because if you're having some doubts, then it's not going to work out. I believe that children feed off of your energy. So if you're coming in and you're not feeling it, feel it as well. So if you decide to homeschool, commit, and also allow yourself the grace to understand that things will not flow well. You're going to have those days where you feel as though nothing has got accomplished. And yet they'll come back and they'll say something, and you're like, you were paying attention? Okay, this is good. Or you may have days where you don't do anything because everybody just stretched. They just need a break. So
Mhm.
allow yourself that grace for that to happen and to
Mhm.
have fun. Fun is a key word in
Yeah,
homeschooling. Like
yeah,
even for myself, like you said, I must have fun, and to make it
oh
fun, make
gosh,
learning fun. Not like
yeah,
it is a necessity, but throw a curveballs in that to make it fun, make it interesting. So yeah,
yeah,
that's what I would
absolutely,
say.
absolutely. And I know you've had some challenges being a homeschool mom, and we're definitely going to come back, bring you back on and talk about some of those challenges again. But thank you so much for being an NBHE member. I encourage you all out there to join the National Black Home Educators,
Yeah.
www.nbhe.net, where we meet families like the Blackburn family, and we can empower them, and we can all come on and just talk about our stories, because you know what, at the end of the day, as women, as parents, we all need each other, especially
Yep.
what we're going through right now with all of the changes and transitions in our lives. There's a rhythm of life that happens, and that rhythm of life, some things change. But one thing about life that's important, and that's family and your love for your children. That is important, and that will never change. And so we need assistance, we need help, we need support,
Yeah.
and we want you to know that the National Black Home Educators is here for you. So we're going to, on our ending note, we're going to allow Angela to exit us out and just tell us about Coding with Friends. Takarri talked about Path. We have a Facebook page, Parents as Teachers at Home. We post videos every day. Sometimes we go on live, but we post videos every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Check out Parents as Teachers at Home, Path on Facebook. Angela, quickly exit us out and tell us about Coding with Friends.
Coding with Friends. Okay, let me see if I can do this quickly. First of all, I want to thank you, Takarri, and your girls, your family, for being a part of Coding with Friends. You've been with us from day one, and they are a delight to have in class. I can't even imagine how fun your homeschool is. So thank you for being that joy and that spark that you bring to Coding with Friends. It is open to all kids. Right now, we're just doing it for free. So just sign up, watch the page on social media, join us, come and see if you like it. Our goal is to make it fun for the kids, and it gives them a place to come and connect together and to be social and to be engaged. All of that. I'm sure your girls love it because they seem like they can't wait to get on. They're waiting for us each time, aren't they, Miss Joyce? They're like, okay, you guys done? Can we go to the virtual room now? They're just
They love
so much fun, and we do have a lot of fun, and fun is a key part of it. And it would not be the success, and I'm sure Miss Joyce would agree, without the parents and the dedicated parents, Takarri, like you. You are dedicated. You show up, you got your kids on, you're on most of the time. You come to the parent sessions when we're talking, and that is just such a blessing to us, and we love it. So thank you so much for your commitment.
Absolutely. Well, NBHE is a family. We're one big family. Homeschooling is a family affair. So thank you both, Takarri. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. And if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to email us at contact@nbhe.net. And don't forget to visit our NBHE website where you can find all those events. The NBHE Nurturing Series, Parents as Teachers at Home, iShineBright, which is something I can't wait to talk to you all about. And then, of course, Coding with Friends. And this is where we empower our children, because our children are going to live in a world that you are not living in, parents. They're going to be living in a world that you will not be living in, and we need to prepare them well for that world and to prepare them strong. Frederick Douglass said, I'd rather build strong children, and that's what we want to do. We want to build strong children. All right. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.